Hmm.
Now, are you worried about Soto?
I'm not worried about Soto. I think we're micromanaging everything, or over analyzing everything. I knew he would struggle in the beginning, at least because that everybody who comes to the Mets struggles in the beginning. You name them, almost everybody, even Mike Piazza when he first got here. Um, it's like a rite of passage. Like, you got to come here and you got to suck for the first X amount of time, right? Um, I see the media tries to create these stories and they want to put Lindor and Soto against each other, and I just think it's all nonsense. Like, you know, now while I'm not the biggest excuse me, while I was not a big fan of that contract, I didn't like it. I thought it was a bad contract for the Met, for the Mets. For him, it's a great contract.
Yeah,
But
no.
right, of course. But I think no, but I think eventually he's gonna reach the back of his baseball card. His pedigree, he's gonna hit. I think it's an adjustment period. Um, what the only thing, like I said, the only thing I've been critical of in recent time is I don't like his body language. His body language is a little. I don't know if that's just him trying to adapt. He's not feeling it yet. I'm not complaining about not seeing him twerk. I'm good with that. He doesn't have to. I don't need to see him
The
twerking. I'm
shuffle.
good. The shuffle. I don't need to see the shuffle. I'm good. I just need him to hit bombs, and drive and run, hit doubles and drive and runs. He's been okay lately, but not. It's not what you expect. I expect him to eventually turn around.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's gonna hit. He's gonna hit.
Yeah,
What
yeah, he's
what
gonna hit.
Mets fans should be worried about is his defense. What are they gonna do with his defense, right? Eh, I hear all the time, and everybody tells me, no, he was finalist for the Gold Glove. Like, you're not watching the games, man. I watched him
No, right, right.
162 times. I mean, I'm telling you, he's not great. He's not great.
No,
He's just not great. And you seeing him every day. You tell me about his defense. What do you think?
I okay. So I want to be fair, right? I'm gonna be
Yeah.
very fair. It's what I expected. I knew this already. I saw the Yankee games too last year. I always said, I saw him with Washington. I saw him with San Diego. Like, this is what he is. Like, he's not gonna turn into Fernando Tatis Jr. out there. That
Mhm.
guy plays right field. Like, I know I always say he's overrated. He's overhyped a tad because
Mhm.
of his outbursts. He goes on these, like what we're seeing this, we'll talk about Tatis after, but he goes on these crazy streaks for 2 or 3 weeks where you can't get him out, like,
Mhm.
and he's insane, right? So I understand that it's tempting when you see Tatis, like, this guy is a freaking animal, right? But
Yeah.
Soto's not gonna be that defensively. But what Soto, the other day, I say a couple weeks ago, he made those plays where he got those outfield assists. And I tell people, I'm like, the reason he gets these assists is because they're not afraid to take a chance on. They know that he may not get him out. So of course
Mhm.
he's gonna have outfield assists because they're challenging his arm. Did you see his arm? He
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
have a great arm.
it's
He
bad.
doesn't
It's
have a
bad.
great arm. He threw the ball like slightly to the left on one of those plays, and the guy he makes the tag. Terrence had to make the tag, move the ball over. Like, I think he's trying. I give him
Okay.
credit. He is trying. But he's not gonna win. He's not he's not one of those guys out there that's gonna remind anybody of Raul Mondesi or one of those guys. So
No, of course. I'll tell you this, right? Juan Soto tries. I'll
he
say that
tries.
much. He does try to make good defensive plays. He just can't do it, right?
No, he's limited.
Eh, he's limited. Another guy that is limited, and I don't know if you know this stat, but Castellanos, right? Nick
Yeah. Oh my
Castellanos,
God, he's
a
worse.
hundred. Yeah, but
Defensively,
you
he's
know how
worse.
many? You know how many errors he went? How many games without an error he went consecutively?
How many?
406.
What?
Yeah. Why? Because he
How?
doesn't try. And
Right.
it's
Right.
a subjective stat. And when I hear no, porque Roberto lo mal, he has the best
I heard
a
that. Yeah. Yeah. The
fielding
errors and
percentage.
all.
I'm like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. On shortstop, that makes sense, of course, right? But
You
for an
get more
outfielder,
chances.
correct. For an outfielder to not make errors is bogus. I mean, because it's a very, you know, it's a stat that doesn't value anything. That's why you go
It's
by outs above average, you go by
right,
ERS,
right.
you go by other things. You don't go by that. And when you see the sabermetrics, right, around Nick Castellanos is great. It's horrible. It's one of the worst.
I know.
And
He is awful.
correct,
He
you'll see Juan
doesn't.
Soto, and basically you'll see that he's not great, right? But at least he tries. That's what I
Right.
appreciate about him. Like he actually tries to make the game plays. I would say,
He just can't. He just can't. He
yeah.
can't. This is what he is. It is what it is.
And Javy Báez, and we'll talk about him. Javy Báez is a better fielder, of course. I mean, but he never had that position of center fielder, and he looks like he's always been there.
Because he's an
You
athlete.
know,
Because he's an
an
athlete. He's
athlete.
athletic. He's
Mhm.
not all the baseball right. Not all every player is different. So
Mhm.
you get guys like Luis Arraez is not athletic. You know, Soto's not athletic, but guys like Tatis and Baez are athletic guys. They just Baez played there. Recently he's been there, and he looks like he's been there his whole life.
His
You
whole
know,
life. His whole
it's
life. It
crazy.
wasn't like they put him on spring training and they said, "Look,
Oh,
Keith is gonna take over, and we got these guys coming up." No, they told him like in the middle of April, "Hey, can you cover center field?" Yeah, why not? And he looked like he's having fun out there. A you know, you'll see in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks, he's gonna catch a home run. You know, he's gonna rob a home run, and it's gonna be a highlight, and it's gonna be heavy bias. I think it's gonna give him life. You know,
right, right, right.
perfect segue. Is he back?
I think we need to wait, give it some more time. But I like what I've seen though. As far to me, this last 10 days or whatever is the best he's been like in 2 years, 3 years. Like I'm not
Since the
even
Mets
exaggerating.
days.
Yeah, he hasn't been this good in forever. And what I like about him is his body language. Again, reading into the body language, because I look at that. I want to see the attitude. You know, he
Mhm.
looks very relaxed. He looks happier. Obviously, the Tigers are a decent team,
Mhm.
a good team. I actually excuse me, I enjoy watching them. They're pretty good. They're not a bad team at all. They're better than I thought they would be. Um, excuse me. They have he's in their center field as if he's never like he's been there forever, like we mentioned, and he's playing with that level of enthusiasm. I mean, he's one of those guys, we talked about it before. He needs to have that extra to play. So, unless otherwise it's boring for him. He needs
Yeah,
to be engaged.
he
So,
needs to be. He's like a little. I don't want to call him a kid. He's like a
no, no,
little.
they can't. Right, right. Yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
like a young, yeah, like a child. It's the same
just
way.
like a
Yeah.
young child. You gotta keep him motivated. Hey, can you do this for us and all this stuff? I mean, I think that's when he's at his best.
Yeah.
I
And
think that that's when. Mhm.
one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and this is why it is so difficult to play shortstop. Shortstop until the modern era, to the modern, what is it, to the last 30, 40 years, was never an offensive position. There was a reason for that. Most shortstops were not expected to hit because the defensive demands took its toll. And we're seeing now, maybe, and we saw the same thing with O'Neill Cruz,
Yeah,
right? O'Neill Cruz, maybe they unlocked something in him not having to play shortstop every day. Same thing with Javy Báez. That responsibility of having to play shortstop every day takes away from your offense. That's
yeah,
why shortstops who can hit and field are a rare commodity.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for example, one of the big guys that doesn't hit, but it's a great defensive guy. I mean, Nick Ahmed, I think, was the best for a
Hmm.
good time. But I think right now, it would be Dansby Swanson.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
defensive player. Another
right.
guy right now to give him his props, and since I won't pick him here, but Geraldo Perdomo, same thing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a great arm. He's a great fielder, not a great bat. I mean, he had a great April. Don't get me wrong, and I
He sure
wanted to
did.
give him
He
his
sure did.
props. But you know, at the end of the day, he's not gonna continue what he's doing right now. A On that case, the last thing that I have in terms of MLB news, right? I don't know if you saw, ESPN is dropping a MLB from the schedule.
Right,
Basically,
of
there's no
course. Yep.
games on ESPN. It's gonna be 10 games of the Savannah Bananas on this in the summer next year. What's your take on it? What do you think?
Sorry, bro. I have to laugh because otherwise I get pissed off. Like this MLB is a clown show, right? I mean, ESPN is a clown show right now.
Mhm.
Okay, look, everything is just a bochinche. Freaking Stephen A. Smith, and then now obviously we want to talk about
Shannon
Shay
Sharp.
Shay, but right, disaster, right?
Yeah.
What can we do to spice it up? Oh, I think this would be a great picture of the board meeting. I think this would be a great idea. Oh my God, guys, how about the Savannah Bananas? Yeah, we love baseball. What a bunch of morons. I'm sorry. They're a bunch of clowns. The guys are ESPN are a bunch of ass clowns. I'm sorry. Yeah, get out of here with that shit.
I'll
Sorry.
say this: it's good for the kids. As you know, they sold out an arena that had 81,000 fans.
Yeah, yeah.
They filled out Marlin Stadium, which only happens when the Caribbean Series or the
The
World Baseball
Savannah
Classic is
Bananas.
here. Savannah Bananas. They brought in. I forgot who they brought in. I think D Gordon. Like they put
Unbelievable.
in a good show. I'll say that, and you'll see it when you go to. Well, I don't know if you have your kids practicing baseball, but
Right, right.
where I play softball, you'll see kids wearing their stuff, and it's for the kids, for young kids. I think that's a once you get to the 17, 18 range, that's when you lose the audience of the Savannah Bananas.
Right, right. So a younger audience, yeah,
That
I
is correct.
guess, man.
That is correct.